In this video, I'm going to discuss whether collecting movies will become a thing of the past. Hey, it's me, AP, aka Mr. Movie Cheer, and welcome back to another video. So, will collecting movies become a thing of the past? This is the topic of this video today. And why did I want to do this? I've kind of done videos like this where, discussing physical media collecting, will it last forever before? And I just want to talk though more about the actual hobby of collecting movies, because for me it is kind of like a hobby. It's an interest, it's a passion. Collecting movies, the ones I've got behind me, the ones I'm looking out for now. For me, collecting movies is a hobby, and it's kind of it feels like in a way it's kind of like a separate hobby to actually watching movies as well. It's kind of like collecting movies is a hobby in itself, and then watching movies is another hobby of mine. So I thought it'd be an interesting topic. I like these sort of videos where I kind of just deep dive into a topic and just really do a deep dive into it. So this is going to be the topic of today's video, and hopefully there'll be a conclusion to what I think of this and the current state of things, and will answer the question: will collecting movies become a thing of the past? So I want to start this off with who is collecting movies now. Who is movie collecting for right this time in 2022? I think maybe a couple of years ago, maybe I'd probably even say now, probably 10, 15 years ago, maybe 10, let's say 10 years ago, I think collecting movies, I say maybe not collecting movies, but buying movies certainly was more mainstream. People would go to like a HMV or even like a supermarket. Here in the UK, you have like your Asda's and your Tesco's, when they used to have like a decent physical media section. And I think people, you generally you go out maybe shopping, and then you'd see a movie, you'd be like, let's watch that movie tonight. I'm going to pick up that movie, I'm going to buy it. And same with like Amazon as well, and other online outlets where you could just, you buy a few movies. I think it was more mainstream to buy a movie, say like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And I think now, I don't think it is as mainstream. I don't think people are going into your supermarkets. I mean, you can't even buy a DVD in some supermarkets now. Some of them over in the UK, they don't have the physical media sections. A lot of it's online, or it's very, very limited at least. But yeah, I think it's less mainstream. But I think who is collecting movies for right now? I think it is for hobbyists, for cinephiles, people who really have got a passion about movies, people who are maybe thinking about movie curating, keeping movie history alive, people like that. I also think as well there's people who buy movies as well to make profit in the future, and there's nothing wrong with that. People like to sit on items like toys or trading cards. They like to buy them mint on card and keep them in the wrapper, and put them away, and hopefully later down the line they're gonna maybe sell it and make a profit. And I don't see any problem with that. I don't like scalpers, people who just buying like hundreds and hundreds of when you get like the consoles where they're buying like tons of consoles and they're trying to make a profit. That bothers me a bit more, because I feel like it's they're taking away from people who can't reach things, and then they're trying to make it immediately expensive. But let's go away from that track. I'm going down a different road here. But yeah, I think in general, movie collecting right now is for hobbyists and people who have a passion about movies. And I think that's the main one. People like myself who just enjoy having a physical media collection of their favorite movies and just enjoy watching movies. And I think that is who the main people are of collecting movies. And like I said, there is other people who maybe are collecting to sell on, and maybe like movie curators. But I think in general, it's a lot of like hobbyists and YouTubers, fellow YouTubers who enjoy collecting movies, discussing movies, and just and people in general just like watching movies. I think that is who movie collecting is for right now. So how do I personally feel about collecting movies at this moment in time? I think for me, I kind of change. I change a lot with my opinions on things. I always say this. I always flip-flop with opinions of movies and of anything really. But at this moment in time, right now, I still collect movies. I think streaming is a super useful thing, like process of watching movies. The way you can find them. But I still enjoy having a collection behind me and being able to go out and grab a disc and even like doing these videos. You know, it's like, for instance, just to take away from the camera and bit behind the scenes. You know, this morning filming a couple of videos, grabbing a few movies out for different types of videos. That's a fun process in itself. I really enjoy doing that, and it gives me a lot of joy doing that. But being able to like find the movies I enjoy, and for me, the collection behind me now is like, I feel like I'm becoming more of like a movie curator in a way with the movies I buy and the movies I keep, because I'm kind of like not just getting any old movie. For me, it's got to be something I'm 100% I'm going to like, or it's a movie that I've watched before, or I've had a good recommendation of a movie. They're the only kind of reasons I buy movies now. I don't kind of do a blind buy and go on. If I see a movie, I'm not a blind buyer. I know people do blind buys, and sometimes you can, you know, it's you can get a hidden gem of a movie, but I'm not that guy. I'm not a blind buyer. But for me, yeah, so my patterns now, I don't buy a ton of movies. I really don't buy a ton of movies, and this is the reason why I don't do like pickup videos on the channel, because I don't buy like tons of movies each week or tons of movies each month. That's just my patterns of buying movies. For me, it's kind of like I have a list of movies I'm after, and I'm like trying to get the certain ones, like I've said it before, like the Studio Ghibli stuff, the Star Wars, Marvel, the DC. They're the movies I'm really looking to add to the collections all the time. But it's a fun process, and I always like look at charity shops here in the UK for buys, because I like to get cheap buys. I like to get bargain buys. It's just the way I like it. It's fun, and it's the fun part of the hunting for movies as well. But yeah, I think in general, that's the way I am. I see myself as a hobbyist when it comes to collecting movies, and I also see myself kind of a bit like a movie curator within my own collection, where I'm trying to just get a collection. I love that idea where I can look behind me and it's a collection that of all the movie, I can pick any movie out of this collection. I can kind of do like a random pick, just like cover my eyes and pick a movie out, and I know I will enjoy it. And that's kind of, there's still definitely movies in there that probably are duds, Iron Man 3 for instance, but in general, I feel like I could go into this collection now. I'm getting to the point where any movie I pick out, I'm going to enjoy, and that's come from becoming like a movie curator, if you like, but also being a hobbyist and having a passion for creating a collection that is 100% movies that I am all in on and I 100% enjoy. So what do I think the future of movie collecting looks like? Maybe look at like 5 to 10 years ahead. I think now, for me, looking at the future of movie collecting, I think there's a positive side of it. And I look at it kind of looking at angles of other types of physical media, like and media formats like toys, trading cards, LPs, records. They kind of like go away for a bit, but then they have that surge. And maybe I feel like now we're kind of like in a surge, and I feel like over the past maybe over that past year or two, I've noticed it, and we're getting more into the community here, within the movie community, and discussing it with other physical media collectors, and hearing about different websites that make certain releases, and I'm kind of getting to like the likes of like, you've got your Zavis, your HMVs, your Amazons. I feel like there's becoming like this niche collecting sort of like a opportunity, if you like. Maybe that's the wrong word, but like this like new sort of gathering, this new passion beginning, because you're getting all these like limited edition copies for, like, say you've got the Batman movie, and they'll have like your normal DVD, your Blu-ray, your 4K, but then they'll have like a HMV exclusive Batwing edition. I know there was something like that. But I think that market, then, it's like, if you are passionate about the Batman or the Batman character, you're going to want it. And I think it's just cool that you've got that opportunity to go out and buy that. And if you're a hobbyist, a collector of movies, that's fun. That's really cool that you can add something cool to your collection, like a really like cool like movie bust or a movie sculpt or something, some sort of like accessory that looks really awesome in your movie room. And it creates this like niche, sort of like a niche within the movie collecting sort of like hobby, really, for me. Because I think there's people who just collect movies, they just want to get like, you just want to get the movie for the sake of getting the movie, they want to watch the movie. But then you got this niche of like, I want this collector's edition because it's got like these unreleased photos. It's got like a book from the director, or it's got some sort of like loads of these little things included. And I think that's cool because it creates then this new pathway for us as hobbyists, as movie fans, as movie collectors. And that I've noticed a lot over the past year or two, more so. And I feel like it's getting more with like your Zavis, your Amazons, your HMVs. They're creating more of these exclusive buys on the websites where they're like limited edition buys. And maybe some people are saying, yeah, it's just a money spinner. They're trying to get your money in, but you can look at it both ways, can't you? You can look at it, they're trying to make more money on the movies, but you can also look at it as this, if you are passionate about a certain film, a certain genre, a certain franchise, you can get more content, you can get some cool items from that, and I think that's pretty cool, and I think it is kind of like becoming more like trading cards, like toys, especially like toys where you're getting like variants of different toys and chase figures and stuff like that, and you're getting all these limited editions. And sure, we've definitely had that for years, but I feel like it's now becoming even more so, and you're getting even more exclusivity and more like cool stuff when it comes to movie collecting. So I think there's a future in that style of movie collecting. I always think, just general movie collecting is always going to be there. But I think it's good that we're getting these like new sort of like avenues to go down if you're a movie collector, to make things, make things a bit different, make things a bit more exciting if you want to go down that pathway of movie collecting. It's always there. It's an avenue for you when it comes to movie collecting. So I think movie collecting is I feel like it's going to become, obviously brick and mortar stores, you're not going to see them as much in supermarkets and stuff, but it'll become more niche, but it'll become more popular in a way. It's just going to become more like, obviously people who are streaming movies more so, like the mainstream audience probably just won't have any interest in buying movies anymore. They'll have absolutely no interest in buying these limited editions, but people who have that hobby and that passion for it will certainly win through, and I think it's a great thing for movie collectors and just fans of movies in general. So I just want to round this up with a bit of a conclusion to this topic today. So will movie collecting become a thing of the past? I don't think it will. I do not think it will. I think, like I said, with records they went away for a bit and they come back. I think for me, movie collecting is going away. I think it's already gone from the mainstream audience of people. I think the mainstream viewer of movies, people, when I say mainstream, I just think the majority, the macro. I think the majority of people are gonna just watch movies on streaming services and hit the cinema occasionally. I don't think they're going to go out and buy a DVD. I asked a family member recently who had a 4K TV. I said, have you got any 4K discs? And they were like, what's that? A lot of people don't know what like these high like Blu-rays and 4Ks. A lot of people still collect DVDs. I only collect DVDs. And I'm in this like community of movie collectors. I don't think the mainstream audience is going to get into 4K, to Blu-rays. I certainly don't even think they're going to be buying DVDs anymore. I think there's streaming and cinema, as I said. But I think in that niche part of it, I think it's going to go on forever. I think it's got legs to really take a few strides further, and really, I think there's something else here. I think it's going to build upon this, and I think with these sites like Zavi, Amazon and HMV, and even more, I'm missing out on all these boutique labels who are making these cool editions. I think movie collecting now, in my mind, has a really strong footing for at least another 5 to 10 years. Beyond that, obviously, you never know. It may come to a point where, they don't make as much money on these physical formats anymore, and they're like, these companies just start saying, let's move to a different avenue. Let's go to streaming, and maybe that becomes the case. But I think at least for the next 5 to 10 years, movie collecting will not become a thing of the past. I don't think it's a thing of the past at the moment, and I don't certainly think in the next 10 years it will become a thing of the past. Beyond that, who knows? You never know what's going to happen in 10 years' time. But I think movie collecting will still go on. I think it's great, and I think it's great to have a passion about movies. I'm big passionate about movies. big passion about collecting movies. I really enjoy, and I think that's the most important thing with this. And I think the reason why it will grow and why it will continue is people have a passion about it and people just enjoy it. And if you enjoy it, that's awesome, absolutely awesome, and thumbs up to you if you do. If you enjoyed this video today, please do give it a like and check out the rest of the movie related content on the channel, and let me know your thoughts on this topic today. Do you think movie collecting will become a thing of the past? What do you think over the next 10 years? How do you see it going? Do you see it moving in a positive direction? Do you reckon it's getting more better than ever? Or do you think it's going to kind of slow down movie collecting? Let me know your personal movie collecting habits. What do you collect? What's your patterns of collecting as well? And where do you see the future of movie collecting? Let me know all your thoughts, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to spread a bit of movie cheer. And as always, I will see you next time.